Hi, real writers. This week we're going to talk about a writing assignment. Let me just clean these, it's raining outside. What will probably happen is you write a few specs, you may sell one or two of them, you may get a relationship going with a producer or a director. As your career grows, you'll be given a writing assignment. This is a good bread and butter type job. So what does it mean when you're given a writing assignment? I did one where I was told this character here needs to lose faith. It was a priest in an exorcism movie. They need to lose their faith so when they get it back at the end, it's triumphant. So let's look at that writing assignment as a whole and what you should do when you're given a writing assignment. First thing, read the entire screenplay, front to back, and find where you're going to put the scene you've been asked to write in. Maybe you've been asked to rewrite an entire character, but we're going to say you've been told to fix something. So you've been asked to fix something about a movie that's in production or a script that's about to go into pre-production. You've been asked to fix something. So you've got to look at the entire screenplay and find where the break is. Find if it's an easy fix. It's like there's a squeaky door. Just fix the door. Don't even look at the kitchen. Find what's broken. The other thing, look at what you want to do. Like you go sit there and go, spaceships. I'm going to put spaceships in because they don't want to reshoot what they've already shot. They don't want to re-rehearse what they've already re-rehearsed. They don't want to do more work than they have to. They want a strategic surgical fix. They want something to come in, add it, take that out, fixes it. That's what they're after. So I found a scene. I know I couldn't increase the cast, so I made it a one-sided phone call with, an intercut to a voice-over voice. That voice could be the director, could be another actor putting on a voice, could be something like that. I couldn't increase the cast. I had to fix something with the people I had. The other thing too, we cannot reshoot scenes that are already shot. Too expensive. We can change future scenes to make them fit in with the ones we've got. So there's your challenge. What do they already have that you have to interface with? Because they can't reshoot these, too expensive. So you've got to fit in with that. Challenge number one. You can't change the story too much. Though you're fixing it, you can change things, but you can't, like I said, say, well, suddenly we need spaceships or monsters, or There's a Japanese film, I think it's called The Weather Girl. It's about a girl who wants to be the pointing at the map, telling you where the typhoon is hitting person. And another girl wants that job, so they start battling it out. They're blackmailing each other, doing horrible things to each other. And maybe that film didn't end well, don't know. But it has got this thing right at the end. The last scene of the film is that both these women develop magical powers and start flying around the studio throwing lightning bolts at each other. You can't do that in a film. That movie may have been written that way from the ground up, and that's a legend in Japanese cinema. I don't know. But that looks like a scene that was stuck in for no apparent reason. They never spoke about witchcraft beforehand. They didn't speak about lightning bolts beforehand. It just came out of nowhere. You can't write an out of nowhere scene because it'll break the film just as bad as the thing you've fixed. So it's got to interface with what they've already got, in the can, what they've already shot. They don't want to do reshoots unless it's majorly a perfect thing. You've got your inputs. You've got your outputs. You can't suddenly make a character a vicious misogynist and then for the rest of the film he's a caring, supporting feminist just because that one scene's a killer scene. You've got to also fit in with the rest of the film. So you've got your inputs and your outputs and you've got to make them mesh. So imagine you've got a circle and everything's on the outside and it's all got inputs and outputs to your circle. You're writing just inside that circle. So it's the larger context has to stay in place. Again, notes down below. Constraints, no new characters. You can't link the things that don't already exist. You can't comment on things. You can't spoil the film because you've read it and go, I'm going to say this. If you think what you're about to add might be a spoiler, talk to the director, talk to the producer, talk to the person who's giving you the writing assignment and discuss what you're going to do, which is what I did. They said, well, we need the the priest to lose his faith. And there was a scene right near the front where someone was in a church and there'd been a funeral and they came up to him for solace. And he sort of blew them off a little bit, I thought. And the person that was writing the story didn't have a good grasp of the Bible. I don't have a great grasp of the Bible. I'm not even religious. But he just went, read your Bible, and walked off. And I thought, that's a real lame line to give to someone who's grieving when I read the script. But maybe that would have been fleshed out later. So I grabbed that line. I went to the scene that I was writing and had this priest late at night by himself in his lounge room, made a phone call to one of his friends, and he discussed how he was struggling with his faith. He said, I don't hear God anymore. And the last line that priest said to him that buttons out that scene is, I don't think he stopped talking, I think you've stopped listening. And he refers, the priest that's lost his faith, refers back to his life. He said, someone came to me and they were grieving. And the best I could do was say, read your Bible. I didn't have what it takes anymore. God wasn't flowing through me to them. And it showed that he was losing contact with God. And then that, in the context of the larger film, let you see that some of the things he was doing that they originally thought would demonstrate him losing his faith told you, hey, look, he's not hearing God anymore. He's lost contact with God. Now that really shows he's losing his faith. So this scene didn't have to encapsulate everything. It had to just refocus everybody so the other actions made more sense in the larger context. The other constraint you'll have, you've got to, unless you're given carte blanche or told, do whatever you need to do, or you're doing a page one rewrite, fix the entire screenplay, add a new character, do whatever you want. Those are rare. They normally come in and help me out type jobs. You can't write a lot of pages, especially for an indie film. So if it's an indie film, they can get through pages a bit quicker than a big production. So I'd be hesitant to hand in 7 pages or more. At a page per minute, you're adding 7 minutes to the film. They might be able to get through those 7 pages in a day, but probably 2 or 3. So you're adding 2 or 3 days to a production, which is not just 2 or 3 days more camera rental. It's maybe a location. It's getting those actors back. Quite often, if an actor's lucky, they'll have jobs back to back. So now they've got to lose another 2 or 3 days somewhere in the production. So you've got to be super concise. You can't afford to introduce an idea and let it marinate for a page and then, it's going to have a start, middle and end. But this is the time when you've really got to show them you understand the get in late and leave early. That this scene gets through a lot of lifting in a page or two, or in a shot, or in a look. You have to rely on performance. You can't spend time in exposition in this sort of work. You've hoped you've got the exposition and the scenes leading up to it. You make your change, or you do 2 scenes, make your changes, and you get out short and sharp. And this will get people coming back to you for more of this sort of work. So that's the quick recap. You can't add things that's already been shot. No one will reshoot for you. You have to be in context to the entire film. You can't throw in flying Japanese weather girls. It has to make sense to what it is. You can't introduce new things. You have to improve what's there and the shortest and sharpest you can possibly be. If you do that, that is how you carry out a really good writing assignment. That is how people are going to get it and go, oh, thank God you fixed it with a word. You fixed it with a page. I can do this page. We can shoot this. After we shoot the next day, we're already at that location. I can just pull people back, bit of makeup, and you fixed it. Thank you very, very much. That's it. So, as always, on the way out, we've got the books, logline, which gives you a way of writing log lines. A lot of people, when they get that book, one guy, a review on that book was, it felt like the author is sitting on your shoulder telling you what to do, which was nice. And then tools, not rules. A lot of people said, does anyone have a book on writing? This is not a book on writing. This is a book on making you a writer. That is such an important thing to understand. This book does not say, now on page this, do this. This says, this is how you solve that problem. 20% off writerduet. That's for you guys. I make nothing. Writerduet does all that. Thank you to everyone who's been helping out the channel. Had some great conversations recently. The bearded writer wrote back. Blackwing wrote, and Lou Lou made a comment too. Oh, sorry, Leo, I think it is. I forgot your last name. But we've had some really good back and forth in comments. So thank you guys. And until next time, keep writing. Bye.